Hello and welcome to your empowered astrology forecast with yours truly, the Cosmic Finder, Sarah McCallum. And this is for the week of February the 6th, 2023. So this week, the moon will be waning in light. We will have just celebrated the full moon in Leo this past weekend. And when the moon begins to wane again, following a full moon, we start to feel a little bit more introverted. We may feel a little bit more focused on tending to ourselves in the form of self-care. We may need to rest and relax and take part in restorative activity. So if you have the opportunity to design your week to allow for restorative activity, I highly suggest you do so. I also want you to really tap into that sense of understanding and compassion for yourself if you're not feeling like you have the capacity to be as busy as you were the week prior. Is when we're building up towards a full moon, like we were the previous week, we oftentimes have a lot more energy. And when we come off of a full moon and we're starting to wane with the moon, we may start to feel like the focus shifts from extroverted activity into introverted activity. And if we can start to really flow with the moon in that way, we realize that we can start to design our weeks around the moon's phases and schedule things that we need more extroverted energy for during, the weeks that are leading up to the full moon when the moon is waxing. And then we can, schedule downtime or integration time for those times when the moon is waning. All right, so this week the moon will shift from Virgo into Libra and then into Scorpio. So when the moon is in Virgo, again, it's important to really allow for the mind to be analytical and to have tasks that help you to feel like you're refining. Maybe it's tidying up your office, maybe it's going through bank statements. But notice that if you don't have tasks that allow you to put this extra analytical mental process to work in a positive way, you may start to feel critical or judgmental. So another thing to tap into when the moon is in Virgo is just general care of the body and tapping into your health and maybe your supplement routine, maybe the types of products you're using on your skin, and really recognizing how those products make you feel, refining, seeing if there's some products you need to get rid of, some products you need more of, and also tapping into this idea of purity, because at the essence of Virgo is purity. So are the things you're nourishing yourself with, putting in your body, but as well as putting on your body, pure? So when the moon shifts into Libra, we may feel like we want to be connecting with our friendship groups. We may feel like we want to tap into harmony and balance within our home, within our spaces, but also within our relationships. So it may be clearly obvious to us when the moon is in Libra, the things that throw us out of balance, but we also want to cultivate those habits, those tools that help us come back into a place of balance. And when the moon shifts into Scorpio, we can really begin to transmute any heavy or dense energy that is living within our emotional body. So this could be a really powerful time to tap into like a meditation practice that helps you to release pent up energy. It could be a great time to work around like ritual process and weaving in elements of healing, therapy, but also water as a way to release and surrender and help to regenerate. Scorpio, being a water sign, typically really feels connected to water, whether it's taking a bath, being near a lake, being near a river. So maybe even taking a walk outside near a body of water would be a great activity to incorporate when the moon is in Scorpio this week. So there is a lot going on this week in terms of transits, and I don't want to like overload or overwhelm you all. So I'm just going to pick a few intuitively to talk with you all about in terms of this week. First, I want to chat with you about Mercury moving into Aquarius on the 11th of February. And I see this as, a way in which to inspire ourselves to communicate, to bring our thoughts into form in a futuristic and innovative manner. Like if it feels a little bit too outside the box, maybe you should go with that. And also to recognize how bringing our thoughts into form can be some sort of medicine for our community. So, because Aquarius is a sign that is very focused on altruistic love, very focused on neighbors, friendships, community, we could think of this as an opportunity to write a newsletter to our community. Maybe it's an opportunity to, speak at a group function in our community about something that we're passionate about. But really start to envision how this shift from Mercury moving out of Capricorn and into Aquarius can help inspire us all to use our words to create positive change within our community. All right, we've also got Venus, the planet that governs both Taurus and Libra, creating a sextile, which tends to feel a bit more easeful, with Uranus, the planet that governs Aquarius. So again, Aquarian energy here this week. And you can envision, this planet of Venus, which is really representative of how we desire to be loved upon, how we desire to be adored, the things that we find beautiful and aesthetically pleasing, and, just generally like how we really enjoy the sensual side of life in a harmonious relationship with the planet that represents like sudden shifts and changes. And perhaps there's a way that we can weave beauty and harmony into positive change. Maybe there is some sort of art that you're working on that, again, could be instrumental in creating change for your community, your online community, your client base, your friendship circle. Maybe there is a way to think of this around loving on yourself or loving on others in a new and different way. And maybe that brings about a lot of joy and a lot of healing and a lot of change. All right, we've also got Mercury conjoined Pluto this week on February 10th. So, again, the planet that governs both Gemini and Virgo, planet that is representative of how we bring our thoughts and our ideas into form into the world, really giving power to the planet that governs Scorpio, the planet that governs how we regenerate and transform. So again, with this Mercury shifting into Aquarius and then Mercury conjoined Pluto, how is it that your thoughts and your words and, pieces of writing could really create transformation, maybe for others, but perhaps even just for yourself? And transformation that at the core is incredibly healing. So there could be, you may be inspired to write a poem. You may be inspired to create virtual content where you're using spoken word. You may be inspired to tap into channeled writing, and something incredibly cathartic and healing may come through. So play around with that as well. And then lastly, I want to talk about Mars, the planet that governs Aries, the planet that governs how we go after what we desire in life, creating a sextile, which again can be a relationship that's a bit more easeful with Chiron, the wounded healer asteroid. So with this, how might these two energies, right? You going after what it is you want out of life, your carnal desires, your the way that you fight, the way that you make love, that type of energy being in combination with wounded healer energy, right? So like, how do you take action in a way that also is healing for yourself, healing for another, and or maybe you're realizing how certain actions have been causing wounding, and this transit is going to be the catalyst to encourage you to take a different course of action that will be a big part of your healing process this year. So that is all that I have for you for this week. A lot of really beautiful mercurial energy regarding your thoughts, regarding how you bring those out into the world. A lot of beautiful, innovative, futuristic, eccentric, community-oriented Aquarian energy this week. Excited for you all to tap into that. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll be back to talk with you next week.